Rocker here. Welcome to today's workout. We are going to be focusing on our core strength all the way around and our glutes and legs. So this is just an abs and booty workout for you. Little circuit. We're going to do 3 rounds. Let's talk about what equipment might be handy to have and some alternatives as well. I'm going to be using either my water bottles or my dumbbells, and if you are going to be using dumbbells at home, I want you to pick a weight set for each of the moves that we're doing that's going to be between the 8 to 12 rep range, and we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get to them. We also have the option to use a Bosu ball, which is like a half a Swiss ball, and if you don't have one of those, because that's not very common, you can do the move the same way using a rolled up beach towel or a couple of towels stacked on top of each other. You just want a little elevation change. Another opportunity today is to use a Swiss ball, and for the alternative to that, you can use the folded up towel as well. So you're really not going to miss out on anything if you don't have much equipment at home. I just wanted to give you some options in case you want to do this one at the gym or you want to experiment with some other things. I have my ottoman here. So this is a good one to do if you have your couch handy or a bench nearby, because we're going to use it to lean our back on. And sometimes if you want to modify certain moves, it's nice to have an elevated surface to use, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. All right, Rockstar, now that we've figured out what we're doing and where we're going, I'm going to go ahead and get us right into this with what's called a lateral skipping sumo. So you can either, I'll start out my first round using my folded up towel, but you could also put your sumo, your half Swiss ball right in the middle of your space. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and step up onto it, sink our hips back into a squat, bring our other foot up, and then come over to the other side into a wide squat. We're going to go ahead and hop through this. So go ahead and start sort of skipping over and across your Bosu ball or your folded up beach towel. And a couple of key points while you're doing this. One, your hips are going back. Your chest is going to be working to stay upright. And one of the ways that you can really do that is by engaging your core each time you squat it back. That way we're getting both a bonus outer thigh and booty blast plus core. That's also going to help us protect our back and stabilize our abs all the way around. Another important thing, because we're sort of jumping and hopping, be mindful of that knee alignment over your toes. Last one. Woo! So good. Great way to warm it up. Warm up the legs and the core. Go ahead and move your prop out of the way. And for this next one, you don't need anything at all. We're just going to stand at the end of our mat as we catch our breath. Go ahead and bend your knees. Come down, plant your hands, and walk your hands out, coming into a tall plank. From here, you can either drop to your knees and rotate to the side. Let's do another one on the other side. We'll come back, same way we came up, to standing, and I like to throw my arms up in the air, come down, walk it out. We can drop to our knees and rotate out to the other side, extending and reaching our arm. Come back the same way we came up. And again, this time I'm going to take the variation on my toes as I pivot into my plank, my side plank, just sending the hips back, using the strength of your shoulders and arms to bring you back up. And in that nice, strong plank that you're in, I want you to keep your hips up, your core tight, no arched back. Really nice work. Keep going, and you can take either variation here where you have your knees down or your knees up and you're in a tall plank. Great work. Come on. This is the last one, and we're going to walk it back. Whew. Moving on to our next move. All right, this next one, go ahead and come onto the side of your couch, or you can use what I'm using, which is just my little portable ottoman. And you have the option here to grab 1 weighted object, 2 weighted objects, 2 water bottles, whatever you have. And this is just a great option to help really add an additional amount of resistance to your glutes. So what you're going to do to start with is position your back so that the bottom of your shoulder blades is right around the corner or the edge of your couch or your elevated surface. Plant your feet down, and then go ahead and let's just lift our hips up and squeeze our butt. Lower down, lift up, squeeze. Lower down, lift up, squeeze. Check in with your feet. Are your feet out here? Are your feet in here so that when you come up, your knees are at a really tight angle? Or are you at this 90-degree bend? This is where you want to be. Now that you've done a few and you've found your sweet spot, go ahead and pick up one of your weighted objects, or two, up to you. You can put them in both hip creases. I'll do that in round 2. We're going to go ahead and get into our set. So we're going to do 8 to 12. And what I was mentioning before is if you are using dumbbells and you have the opportunity to play around with different amounts, I recommend choosing an amount that enables you to get in between an 8 to 12 rep range. And that's just really good for this type of circuit training. So you aren't overly fatigued and you aren't not getting enough out of it. I know that was a double negative, but you know what I mean, right? So if you're able to do 20 of these with the weight that you have, it's a little bit too light. And if you're barely able to do 6 or 8, it's a little too heavy. So I would just adjust. Now there are other types of training where those rep ranges are completely appropriate. For this type of training, we're going to work in the 8 to 12 rep range. So if you don't have a lot of options at home, use what you have. The only workout that's not effective is the one you don't do, and you'll still be getting some great benefits just from activating your glutes. Last one for me, I'm going to hold it at the top and squeeze. So be where you're at, use what you have, start with what you've got, and then feel free to build on that, right? We can always build on things. The one thing that's hard to do, and I'm going to keep talking while you hold that squeeze, hold it up. The one thing that's hard to do is go backwards. It's like getting a haircut, and if they cut too much hair, you're messed up, right? If they cut just a little bit though, they can always cut more. The thing about using weights is if you go too heavy too fast, or you overdo it, or you overtrain, you can injure yourself, and that's not what we want. All right, release. So it's always good to go more conservatively to start with, and to not limit yourself from doing anything just because you don't have the perfect weight set, or the perfect whatever, the perfect outfit, right? You can do this at home in your PJs. Woo, that felt really good. All right, we're gonna move on to a core move, so I'm just gonna get that out of my way. Now for this one, I usually do it with a Swiss ball, but for this first set, if you don't have a Swiss ball, you can use your towel. I'll use mine, and I'm just gonna put it between my feet. And you could be putting your Swiss ball between your feet if you had the Swiss ball. Now, the point with this is that we're really just looking for something to hold on to really engage our inner thighs while we also are working our abs. So you can either do this with your knees bent. I'll do it with my knees bent the first set. So I'm going to come up and come down, and that's one. Come up and come down. And so I'm just passing the towel to myself back and forth. Now, if you're a little more advanced, you can go ahead and straighten the legs. And the key with this is that your lower back is going to stay glued down to the mat even as your legs come out. And that requires some core strength. So if you are working on building that core strength, do this with your knees bent this first and second and whatever. This first time you do this workout, I want you to really have the opportunity to build that strength. And our goal here, again, is about 8 to 10 total. And we are not using any weight for this one, so I gave you an 8 to 10 rep range. It's really just all about that lower back staying pressed down into our mat. And you could try to do, 2 or 3 with your legs straight and then go right back to the bent knee. Woo! And I'm applying a little bit of support to the back of my neck as my legs are lowering, just because I can sometimes feel my neck getting a little sore or tired, and that's really important. Just pay attention. Last one for me. Woo! Coming up. Going to set that out of the way, and we're going to move on to our next movement. So for this one, I also recommend holding some weighted objects. So go ahead and pick them up. Always bend your knees to pick up or set down weighted objects to help protect your back. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to work towards a single leg deadlift. So we're going to start out with a regular deadlift. And if you've done these before, just follow along. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down slightly, engage our core so we don't have an arched back, which tends to happen when we hold weight. A little tuck in that pelvis. And then we want to have our feet, just check in with your feet. Are they evenly spaced out, a little bit wider than hip distance? And we're going to send our hips back while dragging our weighted objects down our shins until we're at a flat back. From here, I want you to use your butt to pull yourself up. And do it again. Hinge forward, pull yourself up. Hinge forward, pull yourself up. As you hinge forward, I want your belly button to come in and up. And as you come up, squeeze your butt. We got one more on both legs. And now I invite you, if you felt confident there and you felt like it had the form, go ahead and stand on your right leg, lift your left leg, and hinge forward. Same rules apply. This is much more intermediate to advanced. It's challenging, and I'm going to invite you to do 5 on each leg. If you are more comfortable with the form on both legs at the moment, or that's the amount of weight that you have available, please stick with the single leg or the both feet down version and do 8 to 12 total reps. You're doing amazing. Make this workout your own, and I wanted to give you good options so you could do just that. Last one. And I'm going to switch legs. Here we go. And you may find, just like I do, that one side's a little trickier than the other. And the same rules apply. As I come down, I'm keeping those weighted objects in close to my shins to protect my back. My abs engage. They come in and up each time I hinge forward. And I'm really using the strength of my hamstring and gluteal muscles to pull me back up. One more. It's really tough. Standing on one leg is always challenging. Even if you're just holding water bottles or no weight at all, it's also quite challenging. Setting those babies down, and we're gonna come into back extensions. Now, I like to do the back extensions over a Swiss ball, and if you've done that before and you're ready to do that, go right ahead. As an alternative, you can also use your beach towel just to get a little extra lift out of this back extension. So I'm gonna position it so that it's just below my pelvis. And I'm gonna just focus on, it's like a superwoman lift, but I'm just lifting my upper body. And you're gonna do about 10 total here. So just lower and lift. Now, if you were on the Swiss ball, you'd wanna have your feet up against the wall for stability. And you will notice that if you're on the Swiss ball, you're gonna get a much greater range of motion for your lower back. However, this, or simply lying on the floor, is still going to give you an excellent contraction for your lower back and a really great workout. We do this to help balance out the ball or towel pass-throughs. Last one. Because we always want to be working that core all the way around. The lower back and the abs work together to stabilize and protect your spine and help you in literally every move that you do. And that's one of the things that we really have fun focusing on in conjunction with the glutes and legs in the Abs and Booty 30-Day Challenge. So if you haven't done that program yet, that's an awesome, awesome program to do. It is a full body workout for the 30 days. However, there's a really nice emphasis on sculpting and defining your abs, legs, and booty. So check that program out. We're right back at the top, and this time I'm going to use my Bosu ball. If you want to just stick with your towel, that's great. It's not to limit you. I just want to show you more things you can do. So let's come into, we're going to put our right foot up on our towel or Bosu, squat your hips back, and hop and jump right back and forth. Now, one of the fun things about the Bosu, as you can see, is that it's giving me instability as I jump over it. So it's even more core engagement. I have to be even more mindful of my position of my hips and of making sure that my knees are tracking in line with my toes. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. Come on, get your arms into it. This is our little cardio blast, bonus booty warm-up and core as we start the second set. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Oh my gosh, that was intense. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Oh my goodness. And moving right into inchworms. So remember that you can do this either with your knees down or up on your toes. Start out tall arms, bend the knees, plant the hands, walk it out, pivot onto your right arm. Arm is stacked just below shoulder. This round, feel free to come into a star plank before you come back to the beginning. Come back down, walk it out. This is just a bonus lateral leg lift challenge your stability and balance in your core even more, taking it to the next level. Woo! So fun. We've got this, Rockstar, come on. Hang in there, walk it out, and alternate which side you rotate to. Up, out, down. Walk it out. Rotate, lift the leg, and back. Up, extend the arms, down. Walk it out, last one. And there we go, nice work. Woo! How did that feel? All right, we're gonna come right back into thrusters. So I'm gonna grab, just so that you can see everything, I'm gonna make sure I have this right in the center of the mat for you. And for this round, I'm gonna invite you to try a little variation on the thruster. I wanna invite you to try a single leg thruster. This may be challenging, so I'm gonna put the weighted object in the hip crease of the leg I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna lift my left leg, and I'm gonna press up with my right. Awesome, awesome work. Hang in there, adjust your foot position to make sure you're at that 90-degree bend with your leg. And this is an 8 to 12 rep range for each leg. You got this. I'm gonna hit about 8 on that side, and I'm gonna switch legs. Ready? When you are. Here we go. Lower, lift. Keep your core engaged. Keep breathing. You're doing amazing. Just a few more here. Come on. Really press down through that heel. Squeeze your glute at the top of each lift. Last one. Oh, that felt good, right? Woo, all these single leg movements will really get you results super, super fast when it comes to training your glutes. They're challenging, right? All right, we're gonna do the pass through. So grab your towel or a Swiss ball. You have that option. And put it between your feet. Knees are bent, knees are straight, your choice. Just keep that lower back down on the mat in what I call blueberry spine. And why I call it that is because I imagine that little curve when I'm laying down in the lower back. And I like to pretend I stuck a big fat blueberry at the center of that curve, at the highest point. And then I press my back down on the blueberry, and I didn't completely squash it. So that way there's a tension and some engagement in your abdominals without hyper engaging them or forcing them. And that is what will really help protect your back, because remember what we're talking about today, your back and core really work together. And they're also very connected to your gluteal and hip muscles, inner and outer thigh muscles. That's why we're engaging all of these muscle groups in this workout today. Amazing job. Last one. And, oh my gosh, amazing work. Okay, what's next? Oh boy, it's the deadlifts. So again, this is your choice, okay? So you have the option. You can stick with the regular deadlift where you're keeping both feet on the ground. Or you can join me for single leg deadlifts. Either case, I want your shoulders back. I want your core engaged. And as you hinge forward, I want you to keep those weight objects in close to your shins. You'll see me wobbling. This is challenging for me as well. I'm just working on building that strength. And I'm gonna go for about 8 on each leg. You can certainly do more. Do what you have time for. This video was pre-recorded for you so that you can pause it if you want. You can repeat this anytime. You could even make this a bonus workout in the midst of the 30-day abs and booty challenge, because there are many movements that will build on and complement what we're doing today. Last one on this leg for me, and if you are doing it on both legs, stick with that. Do 8 to 12 total on both legs. Great work. Now, one little tricky part when you've got one leg up in this movement is to really keep your hips level. Try not to let the lifting leg hip rotate you up and out. You want to imagine that your pelvis is maintaining a very flat space. Great job. You really feel this in your hamstring. Awesome. 2. Oh, I'm wobbling, I can barely look at you. I'm focused on that form, just like you. Great job. Let's go ahead and set down those weighted objects. I'm gonna do the back extension this round using my Swiss ball. And trying to find a spot. It looks like I'm gonna use the pillar of my stairwell to brace my feet. I'm just gonna put my feet up against the stairwell and put the Swiss ball just below my stomach. And I'm gonna lean forward and come up. Lean forward and come up. Nice. And you can still do this one down on the mat. You can do this with your towel. You could even do this on an ottoman. If you wanted to put your feet up against the back of your couch and bend, like lean over an ottoman, that would also work great. I've done that before. So the point here is just that you have a wider or a longer range of motion. So your back is extending fully, you're coming forward farther because you're bending over something. Same thing is true of why I like the Swiss ball for ab exercises, because you're just able to get a greater range of motion for your abdominals. Last one. Oh my gosh. Nice work, Rockstar. Okay, last round. Are you up for it? Oh my gosh. We're gonna do this. We're gonna start out with that lateral skipping sumo. So I'm gonna grab my Bosu again. Go ahead and set yourself up with your Bosu, or of course, great option is your rolled up towel. And here we go. We're gonna start with one foot up, sink our hips back, engage those abs, and begin. Hop, skip, and a jump. Keeping the hips back, core nice and tight, knees track over the toes. Nice. Keep going. Just a little bit longer. You're doing amazing. Keep sending those hips back. Keep your weight back in your heels. You got this. This is the last round. This is it. We're gonna finish it strong. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Amazing. Move your prop out of your way and come right to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, walk it out, rotate. Optional star lift. Walk it back, up, arms out, down, walk it out, lift, and rotate. Walk it back, up, down, out. Nice tight core. Remember, we can be down on our knees for these. Up, arms out, we come down, we walk it out, lift. Let's do one more each side. We're crushing this. Down, out, rotate. Optional leg lift. Back, and in, up, last one. Walk it out, and lift. Success. Beautiful work. All right, grab or come over to the side of your couch or ottoman and get ready. Now this final set, I want to invite you, this is going to do, you can do single leg again. This is your workout. But what I'm going to do is go up in weight. So I'm going to use 2 of these weights. And I'm going to do with both legs down. So I'm going to sit down first, put the weight in my hip creases, and then I'm going to use my arms to leverage myself up onto the back of my raised surface. Making sure I wiggle around a little bit to get in that sweet spot, playing around with my foot position, lower the hips, lift and press. And it is really helpful to put your hands on the weighted objects if they're falling out of your hip creases, just so there's enough space for you to have them there. No need to rush this. Really nice work. Squeeze and lift. Keep breathing. So good, so strong. 8 to 12 total. So tough. I've got about 2 left. How about you? Do 12 if you can. You can pass me. Totally fine. And I'm going to try holding it up on this last one. Maybe you want to do a couple more reps. Maybe you want to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, way. Kick that out of the way. And it's time for the ball or towel pass through. So go ahead and grab your weighted object. Come down, find blueberry spine. You can either keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. I just want you to have a flat back. Lift and lower. Now if you're having some trouble with your neck or your shoulders, or you're just feeling pain and tension there, I want you to just set your head and neck down on the mat. That's absolutely fine. You're just gonna get a little bit more upper ab workout if you're in this upward crunch position, but you're still gonna get plenty of lower abs if you need to set your head down. Keep it up. One thing that can really help stabilize and strengthen if you're feeling pain in the back of your neck is to actually strengthen your back muscles to provide a little bit more stability back there. If you're someone who sits at a computer a lot or does a lot of things with your hands in front of you, or for work, it can be really easy to get a little bit of imbalance between your chest and back muscles, and just doing some back strengthening can really help bring it back into balance for you and help alleviate some of that upper back and neck pain. Now, I always recommend seeing a physical therapist or someone who can assess that for you hands-on and check you out, but that might give you a little insight if that is a situation that describes you. Last two. Come on, we got this. Last one. Here we go. And down. Oh my gosh, so tough. I love it. All right. Okay. Ready for deadlifts? Last set. Whew. Okay. Coming up, I'm going to do the single leg deadlift again, and I invite you to test that out yourself or work on the double leg deadlift. Always bend the knees to pick up any weighted objects. Roll those shoulders back, come to standing on your right leg or both legs, hinging it forward, core comes in, weighted objects staying close to your shins. Keep a good count, keep a nice slow and steady pace, no need to rush these. Great work. Nice and stable through your foot. I'm concentrating pretty hard here. Keep up the great work. Last one for me. On this side, I'm going to switch, and maybe you're working with both feet down. That's great. Do your 8 to 12 rep range. And if you're working with a single leg deadlift, I want you to go ahead and, again, 8 to 12 rep range. Maybe you're at the lower end of that. Feel free to reset. Put a foot down in between each time. Really squeeze your glutes each time you come up. Engage those abs as you come down. Last one for me. Awesome work. Okay, gonna set those babies down. Final move of our workout. It's back extensions. And once again, I'm gonna use my ball, and I'm gonna try this time, put my feet against the stairwell. See if that works for me. Oh, that feels like I can reach. I'm gonna work on that. So here we go. Folding forward, coming up. Folding forward, coming up. Really using your lower back to initiate this movement. If you're more advanced or you have a light dumbbell or water bottle, you could always hold it right below your chin to really give your back even more resistance to work against. But I find that just using the Swiss ball with all this range of motion tends to be plenty for me. Great work. So strong. Last three. Last two. Last one. Oh my gosh, yes, you did this. So proud of you. All right, Rockstar, get yourself hydrated first and foremost. Cheers to you, and make sure you have some good nourishment to support your body after this workout. Of course, I'm using full body collagen and berry green protein together to support my skin, joints, and bones, and also my muscle tissue development and recovery. The berry green protein has 18 grams of plant protein and branched chain amino acids, which have been shown to really help with muscle recovery and repair. And full body collagen, because of its specific help with laying down extra collagen for our skin health, for our joints and bones, and also to help us build lean muscle, especially when we're doing resistance training, like workouts like we just did today. And all I did was shake it up in some water, and I'm good to go. The collagen is unflavored, dissolves in anything. The berry green protein tastes like strawberry vanilla, and it's super smooth. No grit, no planty kind of taste, which is how I created it, so it tastes amazing and delicious, so that I want to use it every day, and hopefully you'll love it too. I really encourage you to follow up with what we did today with the 30-day Booty and Abs Challenge. If you haven't tried that before, it's super fun. All video follow-along workouts for you and fun activities to do. There's a bonus guide in there for you to help you really get everything you can and learn more about your physique and help you with your goals. I'm super excited for you to check that out, and if you've already tried that program, why not check out one of my other 30-day challenges inside Rock Your Life. You can get a trial, a 30-day trial, enough time to take one in the trial period and jumpstart your fitness today with a program to follow along with, videos to follow along with. There's something for everyone. So I look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you so much for being here. Please take good care of your amazing body. As always, I'm Betty Rocker, and you are so awesome and amazing. I'll see you again real soon. Bye.